fifth dimension. Beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Waffle Zone. All of you have just entered the Waffle Zone.
4, 3, 2.
All righty, good evening, ladies and germs. It is Saturday, March 25th, 2023, and I was a lazy piece of shit today. I didn't look up any kinds of topics or anything to discuss tonight, so figured, fuck it. Cards Against Humanity it is. So if you would like to join in the game, I do have both the StreamYard link and the game link set up. We will wait a few 15 20 minutes or so. So if you do want to play, the link is at the top of the description in the pinned comment. Click that, join in, and we'll see if we'll get a game going. But we already have again the unofficial co-host of Waffle World, MGTOW Mando here, ready to go. How you doing tonight, good sir?
Oh, I'm doing. Another day in the strife.
A lot of enthusiasm today. No, I can kind of relate to that. We actually had a winter storm roll through, if you can call it that. So it's currently 33 degrees out, and there's about half an inch of snow on the ground, and we're supposed to get another 2 inches tonight. So, yeah.
Well, okay, Jimmy, I was thinking about something during the intro. If you're interested, what I can do is I can go onto the SCP wiki and find a couple of the shorter, more interesting, less gruesome skips, and we can read and discuss those if you'd like.
If we don't have too many people interested in playing tonight, we might have to do that for Plan B.
Yeah, because you said you don't have any memes lined up to roast.
I can probably bring some up because I am somewhat still of a boomer and using Facebook. But hey, man, Facebook has some pretty good memes on there. So I follow some pretty good pages there. Sometimes. But again, the links for the StreamYard are at the pinned comment at the top. First one is for the game itself. The second is for the StreamYard. So if you would like to join in the game tonight, if we get enough people, that is, click the second link to join the StreamYard. We will bring you on, introduce you, and then we will get onto the game here. Hopefully we have a few folks joining here. I did send the word out to the Gilded chats, but I think everybody's being lazy like myself today.
Well, and at least in some places, like where I'm at, it's the first nice day that we've had in a significantly long period of time. So it's entirely possible people are out just doing whatever.
Probably. And it is a Saturday night, so. Well, let's see here. If anybody else wants to join in. I do see we have 4 viewers, so if you guys want to jump in, click those links. Let us know so we can get this going.
Yeah.
If not, this is going to be a very short stream tonight.
You want to go ahead and drop the game link in the private chat as well?
Yep, let me grab that fast here. Private chat. Copy. And there we go. Hey, there we go. We have our first contestant. We have Mouth Agape Ape. How you doing, good sir?
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Being lazy, man. Enjoying my weekend.
Well, I had to work today, so I'm just enjoying the rest of the night off.
Oh, shit. Gotta love that.
I'm one of your neighbors.
One of the neighbors, huh?
Yeah, we got a county dividing us.
No kidding.
Yeah.
We might have to meet up one of these days, go out and have a couple drinks or something.
Yeah, I know the brewery you're talking about.
We might have to meet up there one of these days.
Yeah, I'm not too far away from you. I'm less than 60 miles.
Oh, right on, man. Hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
I've talked to you one time before. It might have been on a pop stream in the chat.
Yep.
Because your name used to have the zip code after it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Yes, it did. I changed that up once I got this. I don't know what you would call it, this shit show going up and running. So it's like, yeah, we'll change that up. That and Rhino was yelling at me too for, you got to change that, damn it. I'm tired of reading all those numbers. Like, I got to read the numbers, man, but I'll change it anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if can I play this off of my phone just in StreamYards, or do I have to be into that other one?
You'll probably have to. I'm not sure how it'll work on your phone.
I would imagine it's probably not going to work at all.
Let me see here.
See, I know the other one would work on the phone. It was just temperamental as heck.
Right, and if we have to, we can. I can open up that other one as well too.
Because if I try to do anything on my phone, it's going to knock me right out of StreamYards.
Oh, all right.
Oh, in that case, then that might be a problem.
That might be an issue. Well, I guess we might not be playing Cards Against Humanity in that way, so we might just be sitting around bullshitting, and I'll probably bring up some memes then. Damn it.
Yeah, because I got a hold of you one time, and Polska Bob tried to get us talking to each other. I can't remember. He was going to send me a link or something, but I didn't think it was to your channel here. It was something else. It wasn't in Discord, but it was somewhere else.
Gilded, maybe?
It might have been Gilded.
Yeah. What'd you say there, Mando?
It might have been Gilded.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and I never even heard of it. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, it's Gilded is basically like a Discord-ish kind of thing, similar thing, but pardon me. Gilded does not record your voice chats. It does not collect your text chats.
Oh, nice.
It doesn't kick you out for being anti-woke and all that other stuff. So
Has Discord started doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been doing that. Let's just say Crusader Nate, who was on Rhino's stream was on the stream with Rhino with us last night. He's been completely banned on Discord.
Really?
Yep.
So who's Discord owned by? YouTube?
You know, I don't know who owns Discord, but whoever they are, they're fucking up by the numbers.
Well, I can tell you this much. I was on 2 different communities on Discord. One for a war game that I participate in, and one for a semi-sporting thing that I've tried to participate in. And because I liked one of Pop's videos, it booted me for a week.
Guilty by association.
Yeah, it's one of these things where they'll punish you for activities that you do off of their platform.
Yep. It's basically.
And Mando, are you on the West Coast? Are you avocado time?
No, I'm in the Central Time Zone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just slightly removed from hillbilly time.
Just slightly removed?
Yeah, just slightly removed.
Nice.
Yeah, how about that winter storm this morning? I got to work and it started snowing. I go, man, it's not even 9 o'clock. They said it started at 9 and it started at like 7:30. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a boomer. Hour later, nothing.
Well, I will admit that I like to sleep in on the weekends, so I didn't roll out of bed until about like 11 o'clock. So I was like, okay, you roll out of bed, check my phone, did all that stuff, and I clicked on it, and like, winter weather advisory. What the fuck is that all about? So I open it up, I'll open it up again. I'll let my phone open up here. I'm like, yeah, total snow accumulation of 3 to 7 inches, northwest winds gusting 45 miles an hour this weekend, or this afternoon. Where much of the western Nebraska panhandle until 7 a.m. Sunday.
Yeah, they had it. Yeah, it was 9 a.m. this morning till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So they bumped it up an hour, but
yep,
I heard 2 to 4 and then 3 to 7 locally if you're in a bad spot.
Yep. See, that's usually whenever I've noticed quite a pattern normally here in like probably my area and a little bit of your area. If they call 3 to 7 or 10 to 12 inches, it's either going to be north or south of us is where that's going to hit, and then we get we get hit a little bit, just enough to give out the warnings. So I've seen.
Yeah, it usually goes up and smokes Shadron real bad in the Pine Ridge.
Yep. Shadron gets smoked, and then Sydney gets smoked as well too.
Yep. Or it goes just on the other side of the Wildcats and it misses you and just smacks Banner County.
Yeah.
Okay. Without giving away a huge amount of detail, I am in the southern part of Missouri, and we got hammered by storms of the thunder variety. A good chunk of last week. And this morning, after a massive storm yesterday, nothing. Crystal clear skies, crystal blue.
You didn't get anything from those tornadoes that hit Alabama and down there, huh? You didn't get any of that weather?
Oh, thank God, no.
Yeah, I heard it's up to like 23 people dead there in Alabama.
And I believe that was or I might have been.
Or is it Mississippi?
That was Mississippi, I heard.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Mississippi.
And I'm going to make a prediction. The communities that were hit by that, they're only going to be visited if the populace is primarily, how do I say this YouTube friendly?
Basketball American?
Thank you. Because if it's anyone who looks like Jimmy, they're not going to acknowledge these guys had any have any reason to be seeking government assistance to get back up on their feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too cool going on with the weather situations here. But according to Biden yesterday up in his deal in Canada, it's been heating up and it's warm like crazy. It's like, bro, it's 33 degrees out. It's the 4th day of spring, and I got snow on the ground. But yeah, it's totally warm.
We also got to remember, Biden has exactly half a brain cell.
I think he
And that's-
donated the other one to Fetterman.
That's generous. Have you
Well,
guys seen the pictures of Fetterman?
Yeah,
After he's gotten
they
out?
came out. Salty Cracker did a story today that everybody was saying that's not him, and then the people covering for him said, "Oh, well, that's him. That's a picture from last year when he was in the hospital after he had his stroke." So you're not showing a current picture; you're showing a fake picture from a year ago when he was in the hospital. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that, and I'm no facial recognition expert, whatnot, but the nose is completely different.
The ears.
Okay, the ears are completely different. Okay, yes, if he was in the hospital, he would have lost weight because they're not going to give him the best, kind of food and whatnot. So he's going to be laying there. His face is going to, shrink in because it's not being so fat. But yeah, that ain't the same person, man.
No, they found some schlub in the street and they go, "Hey, we'll give you $100 if you pose next to this broad."
Yeah.
And smile.
Speaking of broads, we got Red Pill Rhino in the chat. Click the links to get in here in the chat, you bastard. Yeah, last night was
we did fail badly last night.
it was bad.
Oh, I was Seriously Cast. You know them?
I do
Nope.
not.
With Ike and Scotty. They're out of near the Portland area, and they do a Friday night show, and it's just a bullshit show, and they fume on whatever that is in their craw at the day, of the week. And then Johnny Midnight? He's probably been in some of Pop streams. He said, "I just got done watching Silence of the Lambs, the musical." And I goes, "That's a real thing?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so they started playing that and started playing some of the songs off of that. And there was about 6 of us on the panel just in tears.
Just dying laughing.
Oh God, he was playing the first song he played is "If I Could Smell Your Cunt."
Oh my goodness.
They were laughing so hard, tears rolling down their face.
I might have to look up into that. Silence of the Lambs musical.
Silence of the Lambs, the musical. A couple of people put it together, and it's hilarious.
Oh,
that's one of those things that you hear it and you think this is either going to be really, really good or it's going to be the worst, most god awful thing ever.
Well, you'll be surprised. You think it's really bad, and it turns out really, really good.
So I'm not wrong in my assessment then.
No, you're 100% on.
Right. Well, I got that one written down on my notepad here for stuff to look into, so I'm gonna have to check that out one of these days soon.
Yeah, they've got good classics like "Put the Lotion in the Basket."
Oh God.
Oh, it'd be absolutely hilarious, but no one would ever be stupid enough or crazy enough to do it. Redonkulous, the musical.
That would be quite the show.
No one would ever be stupid enough to do that, though.
Right. Well, Not So Sane Entertainment. I bet they're looking for some kind of musical number. So, speaking of those, by the way, if you do not have Tubi, which it is a free app to download, you can watch, I believe it's 5 of their movies for free. Not So Sane Entertainment. They looked really good. One, I don't think they have The Chair, but they do have what's the name of the zombie one? I can't remember the name of all the stuff and whatnot, but Pop is the voice of The Chair, and he also is he does a cameo of a police officer in Uh, and the zombie one, I can't remember what it was called.
It's not called Zombie Land, is it?
No, no,
No, that
that's the
was a
mainstream one.
that was a major movie.
Was it a major movie or a major minor?
Zombieland's the one that had Woody Harrelson in it and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah. God damn it. It's gonna drive me nuts now. Now I gotta look it up. Ah. But yeah, so if you have any kind of a streaming device, PlayStation, or just look up the app, search Tubi, you should be able to find them. If you can't find them, go back to any of the Redonkulous videos and whatnot. They have it. It will tell you it. But back to the chat here. We got a Red Pill Rhino saying, "Hit the likes, you fucks." I'm saying, get in the chat, you fuck, you bastard.
Well, he did host the stream last night. He might not want to jump on again, especially if
Yeah,
he's
well,
having mic issues again.
apparently the Murphy Mike is gremlin is running around because I was having issues with my mic yesterday, which was absolutely driving me up the fucking wall. I don't know what the hell it was. So I plugged
I
this
just
in.
I was trying to get on a friend's stream that I was previously on about an hour ago, and I tried 4 different times and it just completely stalled out. So I don't know what's going on with like StreamYards isn't working real good tonight.
Maybe they need to fucking do an update or something.
Well, allegedly there is a lot of sunspot activity going on. There could be something with that interfering with what we've got going here on Earth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the auroras were seen down into Colorado last night.
yeah. I saw what was it all the way down in like South Park, Colorado, and then even here in our area, if you drove out to Hubbard's Hill, you could see them. If you drove took the back road to Shadron, you could see them. So I'm like,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I wish I would have
yeah,
known that.
I totally spaced it. I was thought about going out. Just I can go north of town here just a few miles and be pitch black.
Yep. Yeah. So could I. So could I. But I was like, yeah. But then again, it was. Oh, what was that? It was Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday and then into Friday.
And now they're supposed to be for from here to the end of the month. Or does it start on Monday? 5 planets in an arc.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's supposed to be sometime in the next 48 hours, I think, where it
Yep.
starts.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, Rhino says, it won't be on tonight. Why not, man? You bastard. Says, also, I'm in Colorado. Lies! We didn't see jack shit in this hellhole called Denver. Haha. Well, yeah, because you need to drive like 60 miles out of Denver to get away from all the light pollution
You'd
and
have had to get
whatnot.
on the other side of the mountains
Yeah. Yeah.
or drive
Well,
out to Lyman.
hang on. He's in a liberal hellhole. Everyone there thinks they're enlightened.
Especially
That's
if they're
true.
in Boulder.
Yep. Well, then again, you got to remember that people in LA called 911 for the Milky Way in the sky because they saw black clouds during a power outage one time. So, yeah,
Are you
light
kidding
pollution.
me?
No, I am not. I wish I was. I am not kidding because people were doing that. And also, just recently, when was it Jupiter and Venus were supposedly really close to the Earth? Again, the LAPD was called and the sheriff's department were called because people saw bright lights in the sky. And this was during the whole fucking UFO and spy balloon gate bullshit was going on. So people were freaking out about that. It's like people there, in on your phone here, you can type in um, I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's
Planetarium.
literally it's literally a planetarium. So you can just open up the app and then just point your phone wherever you want in the sky, and it'll show you the constellations, the planets.
The
I think you.
ISS.
I
Uranus.
think. Well, if you point it in the wrong areas, yeah, you'll be seeing Uranus.
If you're squatting to take a poop while you're using the app, you might see something.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
The People's Republic of Bowling can fuck right off.
well,
Rhino.
Rhino.
I
If they
was
do that, if they do decide to do that, make sure at least you're wearing protection. I would strongly recommend Mop 4.
Yeah.
we were working a tie gang down in Boulder, and the tracks run right next to the Coors plant. And there's a river right there, and there's a big sewer treatment plant. So I know exactly where the Rocky Mountain spring water that they make Coors Light with, I know where it comes from. I've
Spring
seen
water.
it. Yeah.
So in other words, don't touch cures.
Ugh. I wouldn't
See, and
recommend it.
that's why Rhino. I think that's where Rhino's problems, started, because he was always drinking his twisted teas. He said he did have a few hangovers and whatnot, and then he switched to the Coors, and then his liver was like, you know what, fuck you, man. If you're gonna drink this shit, no.
Rocky Mountain goat piss.
Yeah,
It's the cowboy beer. It's the beer of choice.
It's also the beer of choice for soldiers who are too poor to be able to go and buy anything better and too lazy to travel off post.
Man, I would drink a Busch Light happily before I drink a Coors Light.
Yeah, well, I drink Bud Light just because it makes me piss, and it does the job, even though you got to drink 12 of them to feel a buzz.
It tastes better than Coors Light though. And then regular Coors, oh boy.
Oh.
Well, if you guys ever get the opportunity, the last time I actually really drank anything was when I was stationed in Germany. I strongly suggest Hefeweizen.
Yes.
I've had
The,
Pyramid for out of Oregon. That Pyramid, that Hefeweizen's pretty good.
I think I had a couple of those. Yeah, and my Crowler from last night, that one had, what is I think it was the Bavarian Hefeweizen from the brewery.
Yeah.
Well,
Pretty damn good.
the thing
I've been
is,
in there a couple of times and tried some of the wings and tried a couple different beers. They're not bad.
here stateside, I think there's some kind of law or FDA regulation or something that says any alcoholic beverage has to ferment for a certain period of time before it's allowed to travel away from the bottle or distillery to be sold.
Yeah, probably.
In Germany, at least during the time I was there, they didn't have that. So
Nope.
one day you could go in and get a really strong stout. Next day you could go and order the exact same thing and barely get a buzz.
Nice.
So I know they used to age Mad Dog 2020 on the truck from the the bottling company to the store. Mad Dog Grape.
Oh.
I assume you're talking about the drink and not a act that would get us banned off of
The
YouTube.
the MD 2020.
That was
Yep.
that was a joke. Think about what he
Yeah.
said. Mad Dog Grape.
Oh, nah.
I'm picking
Gotcha.
up what you're dropping now.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
Yeah, some buddies of mine, when we were out of high school, we were all probably 20. Well, I think we'd all just turned 21. And he had a band, and he'd have these monster Halloween parties. And the band would be playing in the basement, and there'd be 40, 50 people, in the house bumping around off of each other. And somebody had bought a bottle of Mad Dog grape, and we all took a swig off of it. And I was like, oh God, this stuff's disgusting. Put the cap back on, put it in the fridge. Next Halloween, it was still in the fridge. I said,
Was it still
hey, let's
drinkable?
break out that bottle of Mad Dog. It still tasted the same. It smelled like fingernail polish remover. Tasted pretty similar, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's why you don't mess with that stuff. That's why I don't mess with that stuff anymore. I think I tried a sip of the blue raspberry, or whichever flavor the blue one was. I tried like a tiny little sip once, and I'm like, nope, nope. If I took a full shot of that, I would. If I took a full shot of the blue raspberry Mad Dog, I would have stopped drinking completely because that stuff was disgusting.
Or the Boone's Farm wine and Night Train wine that was 99 cents a bottle.
That or get you 2 4 Locos and be shit faced for 2.5 days with energy for a week.
We had some for a long time up here at one of the convenience stores. They were selling King Cobra 40 ounces, and they were like 99 cents a piece.
Oh God.
You'd see one of the native gentlemen come up and buy $8 worth in two plastic sacks and try to get them home without dropping them. I remember drinking Old E. Ooh, God, and Mickey's Wide Mouths.
Bringing back horrible memories, man. Horrible memories.
You didn't like the hand grenades, the Mickey hand grenades?
No. No, I could not do the malt liquor. No. Oh.
I didn't like 40 ounces because I don't chug beer. I'd drink it, and about the bottom inch and a half of it would be warm like piss by the time you got to the bottom,
It'd be fucking room temperature. But yeah, you ever do the Edward 40s hands?
No, what's that?
It's where you take 2 40s, duct tape them to your hand, have someone else open them, and you have to chug those things and empty them before you have to take a piss. Before you can take a piss.
I think I would probably get halfway through one, and then I would throw it up and have to start all over again.
Yeah. I did that once with 140. I didn't make it. I was literally, I had 140 taped to my right hand. I'm sitting there drinking it. I'm about halfway through with it, and I start doing the fucking pee dance and whatnot. Fuck, nope, can't do it. So I went out of the garage we were partying in, went around the backside, unzipped my fly, whipped my stuff out, started peeing, and just kept drinking. Like the second time I went to go take a drink, my buddy walks around the corner and says, "You're breaking the rules, man." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm still drinking." as I was taking the lead.
I'm just purging the system.
Yeah, man, just flushing the system. It's like flushing the transmission, man.
There you go. Yep.
Let's see. We got Bill Pine in the chat. Greetings from Canada. My apologies. St. Louis Arch, good to see you here. He says Fat Tire is better and made up the raid. Fat Tire actually isn't that bad, but I can't drink too many of them.
We used to drive from here and have to, because before Fat Tire was legal to sell in Nebraska, we'd go bootleg it, go down to that big liquor store in Fort Collins.
Oh, nice.
And we'd go buy cases of Fat Tire and bring it back in my Tahoe.
Allegedly. We're not confessing to anything, but allegedly that happened.
Allegedly, some other guy did it. One time I heard about it from a friend.
Right. Mr. E says if you like IPAs, Blue Moon. Blue Moon actually, I don't think is an IPA, but the original Blue Moon is not an IPA. I believe that is an ale. And
the original Blue Moon is is a wheat beer, isn't it?
Sort of, it might be a
I
wheat
believe.
ale.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Blue Moon is a wheat. I just can't remember. But I don't know if they do have IPAs in Blue Moon.
I like beer, but I do not like IPAs.
Same here.
If it's too hoppy,
Yep.
or bitter. I got a 6-pack of Red Hook one time because this one guy I was working with says, "Oh, you got to try it," and I'd never had it before, and I got some, and we were on a road trip coming back from Colorado, and I made it through exactly one, and then so when I showed back up, I gave him that rest of that 6-pack, and he's like, "Well, you're not going to drink it?" I said, "No, you can have it."
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm
And he would
I'm the
brew his
same
own
way.
beer.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I can't do the IPAs. I mean, there's like one or two I can tolerate, but I'm not going to be drinking them all night long. I'll have like one or two.
Right. Yeah, I've had
And
some where I could do one, but I wouldn't order another
yep,
one.
it's
It's kind of
I
like that
for,
that
yeah
stuff
for,
from um what's the one down there in Broken Bow, that brewery down there?
oh yeah, what's it called? I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the
Kincaid,
name.
not
Kincaid,
Kincaid.
not
Is it
Kincaid.
Kincaid or is that? They've got a really good
Um,
restaurant there too at the brewery. Uh, um, they have that Devil's Gap, and it's a jalapeno beer. I can do one. I wouldn't be able to drink any more than one.
let's see. You just happen to do a search, and is not it.
No,
So it's
Kincaid is that one's in either further east or in Lincoln, isn't it?
is it? Edmund says Kincactor. No, that
It's
doesn't.
Kincaid.
probably meant to be
No.
probably intended that to be Kincaid.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. I know exactly what brewery you're talking about because I know which one you're talking
Yeah, they have
about.
Bud the Wiser. They have Devil's Gap. They've got 4 or 5. Have you tried the Blacktooth Brewery out of Sheridan? Like the
No, I
Bomber Ale
haven't.
and the Saddle Bronc?
I have not.
You should
Hey,
try those. If you like amber ales, Bomber Mountain's good.
Ooh,
hey,
I do
Jimmy,
like my. Yeah.
I am going to shoot you a link to the homepage for that SCP thing I was telling you about earlier.
All right.
And if you would like, we could go shooting, or we could go and pick a few of these things out to pull apart. There is one in particular I really enjoy that I would definitely like to read off to you guys. It is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, shoot that on. Shoot that on over. We'll.
Okay, I just dropped the link in the private chat.
All right. Let's see.
Well, most of the link. There should be an HTTP there. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me fix that.
I can't remember what that. Can't remember what that thing is. Oh.
There we go. Hot link's
Uh-oh.
in there now.
Senses talk of booze. I have been summoned. Bacon! Bacon is in the house. Of course,
What's
we're
going
talking
on,
about
Bacon?
booze.
How are you? Bacon was on. Were you on Scotty and Ike's stream last night, Bacon? Or in the chat?
I imagine Bacon was probably in the chat. He likes to get around. Let's see. We have Iridium Kush.
Hey, Iridium Kush just come in too. Hey, Kush.
Hello. I believe this is my first time here. Well, I'm more than welcome to come on in. Like I said, this was supposed to be a Cards Against Humanity stream, but of course I didn't have anything to discuss or anything. So I was like, yeah, fuck, we'll be lazy and whatnot. So if you guys in the chat do want to play some Cards Against Humanity, I know Ape might have a difficult time with it. We might have to.
Yeah, I'll just drop out of the chat or drop out and go back into the chat then.
Yeah, if we can get some more folks in here because I know.
Yeah, it needs probably at least 3 people.
Yeah.
I'd like to have at least four folks. So if you guys would like to play some Cards Against Humanity, the links for the StreamYard and the game
Okay,
are
with
in the
me that
chat.
just dropped her.
Oh, that might have been you that's been dropping there, Armando.
Okay, was that me that just dropped, or was that an issue with you guys? Because I just had weirdness
Might have been
happen on
on,
my end.
I was gonna say, it might have been on your end. You did go robot for a couple seconds there.
Kush has got a new video on his channel premiering, so he's got to dip out. He said,
Oh, all right, hell yeah, but yeah, thank you for stopping by and saying hi there, Kush. I'm sure we'll probably be still live when your video ends. So if you do want to come back and join the games or the chats or whatever the fuck we're going to be doing, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tonight here. So you're more than welcome to come on back and jump on the stream and whatnot. So there is that. And it looks like we have another good buddy of mine. We got Edmund in the chat.
Hey.
Hey, Edmund.
Hey,
Hello,
what's
Edmund.
going on? Hi, guys. I didn't join right
Oh.
away because I had to come back and I wanted to cook my food and I didn't want to have you guys look at me eat, you know. And it came out okay, you know. I made stuffed burgers.
Some what'd you do? Do some juicy loosies? Stuff them with cheese or what?
I got a little burger stuffer thing, and you know, I had it seasoned in taco seasoning to the ground meat, and then I made 3/4 pound patties as best I could, and then you break it up and you stuff it with cheese, put cheese on top of that. I made deluxe burgers. So
sounds pretty darn tasty.
It was tasty. I ate all 3 of them. When I eat meat, I usually eat about a pound of it at a time. So there's my pound of meat for the day, you know.
Yeah, I had a 26-ounce T-bone for lunch today at work.
Fancy.
Damn. It was gorgeous.
I had some leftover chili mac.
The chili mac.
Chili mac. It actually wasn't too bad because I have a bunch of those emergency food pails that you can get. I had cracked one open and it had a chili mac in it, and that was pretty good. I had made a couple of bags of those a while back. So I took one. I took one of those. Took one of the chili mac ones and then mixed it with the regular mac and cheese one, and then threw in like 7 slices of the American cheese, just so it's nice and cheesy. Threw in some little extra chili powder and some cumin powder. That was a little heavy on the cumin powder.
You're probably going to be locked up like a bear trap tomorrow.
No, actually, here in about like probably 2-3 hours, I'll go in and have myself a nice little spicy pull-up. Wishing I was had some ice cream on hand.
Hey, that brewery you're talking about in Broken Bow, I've been there before. It's Kincaidor.
Is it Kincaidor?
Yeah, it's Kincaidor.
Okay.
And,
okay.
And so it's good beer. I've had that jalapeno beer too, you know, but like
they make a beer there, and if you go through there, it's worth it getting a growler of it. It's called Buffalo Skirt.
Okay, what about
I believe it's an amber ale.
Okay.
And I believe it's called Buffalo Skirt, and you can only get it there. They don't bottle it and sell it at the stores like they do the Bud the Wiser and the Devil's Gap. I think they only sell it at the brewery itself.
Nice. Well,
and that restaurant there is got some really good food at that brewery.
I gotta like next time I go deer hunting, I'll probably try to convince my dad to go there with me. You know, looking forward to going to a deer hunt. I'm trying to debate. The debate within myself is, do I essentially get 2 deer or just get 1 deer? You know, and I think I could fit 2 deer in the freezer. But that's a lot of damn meat.
Yeah,
be a lot of meat you're not buying later.
Yeah, and that's kind of like and I'm like, I know it's a little bit of a hassle to, kind of like explain how I'm going to do everything, but it's just essentially, it's like, well, yeah, like that. Like I won't have to buy a bunch of fucking meat later on. I buy shit on discount. My freezers are full. Well, not full, but like full enough. And I'm like, shit. If I work hard just to fill it up, I won't have to like go to the store, but anything but like burger buns and shit, And even then, I can make my own probably.
Right.
Sorry,
And they'll probably be better too.
Probably will be. I have a
Hey
chunk
Jimmy,
of.
have you ever went to had a Juicy Lucy up in Minneapolis?
Juicy Lucy? Oh,
The original hamburgers, the Juicy Lucy's.
Never been up to Minneapolis, but my dad has made homemade Juicy Lucy's, and oh my god!
Yeah, they've got a bar up there that claims to be the originators of it. Then there's a restaurant up there that's kind of like a bar and grill, and we went into one, the bar, and I can't remember what the heck was going on. They were either packed, you couldn't even get in there. So we went like 2 miles down the road to the other restaurant that claims to be the originators of it, and made them, and they are good. But man, you just don't. That's something you let sit for a little while. You just don't bite into it.
Oh yeah.
Is that
Trust me,
Is that the burger? Is that
shoot across the table?
Is that like basically a cheese stuffed burger? Is that what it is?
Yep. Yeah, you take two quarter or third pound burger patties, however big you want them, and you put. You can either do the combinations that my dad does are Monterey Jack and mild sharp and mild cheddar. Do those, or do sharp cheddar and what's the sharp cheddar and pepper jack.
That's essentially what I do with mine. I just, if I got cheese, you stuff it whatever the hell you want. It doesn't really matter, but I can't seem to get the seam right on the seal, but they come out just fine. They fry up and eat. They're still good eating regardless.
One of the a tip for getting your seal right is make your bottom patty a little bit bigger than your top one, so then you can kind of fold it over and pinch it. That's the good way to go.
So you're basically making a meat ravioli.
I'll show you.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's about that big around, and then you put your lettuce, tomato, your burger sauce on it. Oh.
Yeah, well, this is it right here. The burger stuffer. You can.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
You can make burgers with it, or whatever. But it's just that's the indentation wire. That's the flat part. So like if you want to just make a bunch of burgers and freeze them and pull them out and grill them later on, that'll help you do that. It's a perfect size. Everything sticks to it like crazy, but I don't care. It helps me eat. Like when you can get burger for like on the discount, it helps me go through it. And most of the time I won't even eat it with buns, so I'll just stuff it and then eat it like a steak or something. So that way. So there you go. Kind of boring.
I just had myself a good idea for a big old stuffed burger. Instead of doing, it would be kind of like just basically like a little miniature meatloaf, but it would be like half pound patties stuffed with cheese, peppers, whatever you want, and then take like a nice mushroom brown gravy and smother it over top of that. Oh, sounds pretty good.
And some sautéed onions.
Some sautéed onions.
Either
that or just
make a meatloaf and stuff it whatever you want.
Yeah.
Serve it with some big old slices of some Texas toast. Sounding good.
Or just make a hollow cavity meatloaf in a meatloaf pan and stuff that baby.
Yep.
It'd be hard getting it out of there though. It'd be all melted as soon as you cut it. Try to pull it out.
Not cheese.
All over the place.
Cheese wouldn't stick necessarily, I would think. I mean,
Yep.
you would be able to slide right on out like it's going to slide on right out of you too, you know? So, I mean, you know what? If you
Bacon.
really want to go big with this, get like 5 pounds of fucking meat, ground meat to do this with, and use like a fucking a springform pan. Make sure you put a pan underneath to like catch all the drippings, and do it properly, and make like a meat pie with the gravy on top of it and everything, like you just talked about.
I like
Make
the
a
way you think,
shepherd's
yeah.
pie out of hamburger. You could stuff it with potatoes, mashed potatoes, and
Oh yeah,
peas
like
and
reverse.
carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah, reverse shepherd's pie.
Hang on, guys. If you all have a pen and paper handy, I can give you a couple of recipes that these go together to make a pretty good kebab type thing. And the seasoning works good for hamburgers or for what I'm about to read off to you. The seasoning recipe is 1 tablespoon paprika, 1 tablespoon salt, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, 1 tablespoon ground cumin, 1 tablespoon granulated garlic, 1 teaspoon pepper, 1 teaspoon dried savory. It says crushed, but however you have it, I'm pretty sure it could work. You combine all of those together and shake them up, and it'll store for about 2 weeks. Now that's really good on burgers or on these kebabs that I'm about to read off the ingredients for and how to make it. For the kebabs, you need 1/2 cup warm water, 1 teaspoon instant dry yeast, a pinch of salt, a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of olive oil, a cup of all-purpose flour, plus more for dusting, a pound of ground bison or beef, ground deer would probably work too,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1/2 cup Italian breadcrumbs, 1 egg, 1/3 cup, or correction, 1/2 cup grated Parmesan cheese, 3 tablespoons of the seasoning, and 1/2 cup shredded cheddar cheese.
Can you put that in the gilded?
Yeah, I think I already put it in gilded once before.
Well, it's probably in the recipe side of things.
Yeah, but you combine the water, yeast, salt, sugar, and olive oil in a small bowl. Add about 1 cup of flour, or just enough to make a dough that pulls together. You knead it for a minute or two on a lightly floured surface, and then place in a clean bowl. Cover in with plastic wrap or a damp towel and let it rise for about an hour. Then in a medium bowl, you mix together the meat, breadcrumbs, egg, Parmesan cheese, and the seasoning. Form it into 15 equal-sized meatballs. Set it aside while the dough finishes rising. Once the dough has risen, preheat your oven to 375 Fahrenheit. Go ahead and line a baking sheet with a parchment paper or silicone mat. Divide the dough into 5 equal pieces and roll each into a rope about 10 inches long. And starting with one end of the dough, thread it onto a 10 or 12-inch wooden skewer. Follow it with a meatball. Wrap it around. Basically, make a serpentine pattern with it for all 5 of the meatballs in the bread. Once they've all been assembled, let the dough rise another 15 minutes. Bake for 20, or until the dough is a light golden brown and the meatballs are cooked all the way through. And you're going to want to, once they're fully cooked, you take them from the tray, or from the oven, sprinkle with shredded cheddar, return for about 1 or 2 more minutes until the cheese is melted, and enjoy right out of the oven.
Damn.
Sounds pretty
Sounds
good.
like a lot of work. It sounds worth it.
Oh, it is incredibly good.
That sounds pretty damn good. I would say if you're gonna do bison or deer, I would say add in probably. A lot of people like 80-20 for the beef and whatnot. For me, I prefer, if I'm going to use something lean, 1580 or 1585 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
That's my preferred ratio. And actually, Bacon has a question in the chat. What is the meat to fat ratio to get your ground beef for this?
if it's for the recipe I just read off, I assume it's just whatever it is, whatever you get from the
Yep.
grocery store.
Probably 80
Normally,
20.
normally 80-20, but 80-20 is good for burgers and whatnot. They're really good for smash burgers because it helps put the grease on the griddle and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if I'm going for like a thick burger, I actually prefer mine 1585. Or no, what is it? I prefer a little more fat to the to lean, so you can actually make it a little more compressed. Because if you're dealing with 80-20, you don't want to completely like compress the patties themselves. You want a light pressing on them, so that enough that when they cook, they're not falling apart when you flip them. But there's enough pocket space in there, so all the fat can render down and all the juices can integrate in all the crevices and whatnot. That's how you get a juicy burger.
And you're making me crave smash burger. It's been a couple years since I've been to a smash burger.
See, and I
It's
if I'm gonna do smash burgers, I'm doing them myself because the only place around here that does smash burgers is Culver's, and Culver's sucks.
Yeah.
Well, one time I was in a Culver's line, and I just it's not that I didn't want the food. It's just they were slow, and I just kind of drove out the line. I didn't have patience for it. It's like once you start cooking for yourself more and more, you realize, shit, by the time I'm done here, I can cook my own food, and
Yep.
that's what it comes down to. I mean, that's why I like. Oh, sorry, go on.
I ate one of those Culver's butter burgers one time, and oh my God, I know why they call them butter burgers, because you have the buttery shits about 20 minutes afterwards.
Yep.
Okay. Here's from the same book that kebab recipe came from. Here's a recipe for some buns that you might find enjoyable. And this is more along the lines of a sweet roll than necessarily a hamburger bun, but I'm pretty sure you could adapt it. You're gonna need 1/2 cup or 1 1/2 cup warm milk, 1 tablespoon butter melted, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons instant dry yeast, red food coloring, not necessary for taste, just for appearance, 3 cups all-purpose flour plus more for dusting, and these buns actually have a topping as well. To make the topping, you need 1 cup of rice flour, 1 teaspoon instant dry yeast, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 tablespoon vegetable oil, 3/4 cup warm water, black food coloring, not necessary for taste, but if you want it for the appearance, cool, and 1/2 teaspoon coarse salt. To make the buns, in a medium bowl, you combine the milk, butter, sugar, salt, yeast, and enough food coloring to give you a nice red color. Gradually add the flour until you have a nice soft dough that isn't too sticky. Turn it out onto a lightly floured surface and knead it for a couple of minutes until it bounces back when poked. Place in a clean bowl and cover with plastic. Set in a warm place to rise for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone mat. Turn the dough out of the bowl and divide it into 12 equal portions. Loosely roll each of these into a smooth ball and set on the prepared baking sheet. Cover and let the dough begin to rise again while you make the topping. To make the topping, whisk together all the ingredients in a small bowl until smooth. Set aside and let it rise along with the rolls for another 20 minutes or so. Then, using a pastry brush a thick layer of the topping onto each roll, covering as much as possible. Preheat the oven to 400 and let the rolls rise for another 20 minutes. When ready, bake the rolls for 15 to 20 minutes until puffed and firm to the touch, and let cool for about 10 minutes before serving.
Sounds good. I mean, it sounds like a lot of work, but nothing too difficult to do.
Oh no, I have zero cooking ability, In fact, in home ec class in high school, trying to make no-bake cookies, somehow I ended up blasting an electric stove through a kitchen wall.
Nice.
I'm still trying to figure out how that happened. And that was 20 years ago.
You're just that good.
I would use less explosives.
That's just it. I didn't use. Okay, here to make matters even worse. Home ec class, I inadvertently made explosives while trying to make no-bake cookies. Chemistry class, I made something edible while trying to make soap.
Hey, edible soap, that could sell.
Yeah, but it did not exactly get me high marks in the class.
When I was in home ec class, that was 34 years ago. Where there was 5 guys in the class and the rest was females, and we outcooked them. We stomped a mud hole in their ass. In every project we did, 5 guys could cook better than the whole class of girls. It was awesome. They were so pissed.
And I can imagine the reason why all the guys were in that class.
It was mandatory, or it was one of your electives. It was either home ec or sewing.
I mean,
wow.
either one is a valid skill to know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I took the sewing, I think the year before or something, or it was home ec. They had sewing, and everybody raced out and grabbed a machine, and they all got their seats and got their machines, and I was like the last one. And the teacher goes, "Oh, you can have this one here." Well, it was set up for, like, I don't know if it was a handicapped person or if it was just the nicest machine in there, but it was a Husqvarna sewing machine, and it was completely computerized, digitized.
Jeez.
So any pattern you wanted, it was right there on the side. You just pushed a button or certain combinations of button, and it would sew any pattern you wanted. So being the last in line turned out good for me.
That's cheating, man. You got to learn how to do that by hand.
Hey.
Yeah.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right.
That is true.
Yeah.
But going back to the
allegedly.
Going back to the meat conversation, the goddamn bacon says 15 to 20%. That's what I figured. Yep, those are the 2 ratios that you want with your ground meats. It says Seattle used to have a smash burger, but it closed due to prior piss poor placement of being on 3rd Avenue, downtown Transit Street.
Yeah. I just, if I make a smash burger, it's usually with whatever I got. I don't really care too much about the, I go with the flavor more than anything, So it's like season it, flip it, and if I feel fancy, maybe I'll put onions on the bottom of it, like an onion burger.
Yep. See, or you could go the Nebraska way, and Ape knows who I'm talking about. You can go the Runza way.
Oh yeah.
The Runza.
The Runza way.
Runza is what would be the best way to describe them, Ape? They're a
hot pocket. It's like a giant hot pocket.
They're a cabbage burger, but but the shape of a hot pocket.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, man,
they're pretty good.
And see, I'm from Washington State. I'm out from I lived out where Bacon lives. I lived there as a kid, but I'm from Eastern Washington State, near the Idaho border there. And until I moved to Nebraska in '95, I'd never even heard of a cabbage burger.
And so, like,
they don't make them up there. And I was like, "What's a cabbage burger?" And they're like, "You haven't had a cabbage burger?" I said, "Nope." Homemade cabbage burger. I was like, "Oh, I really like these."
Oh man, those homemade, and they have. I mean, Runza isn't bad. They're not bad. Pretty good. But if you're dealing with an old German grandma immigrant recipe from Nebraska that has, her grandma's grandma taught this recipe to her. Oh man, if you can get yourself into someone that knows how to make an old school style, just basic cabbage burger or runza-ish, because there is kind of a difference.
Yeah.
But oh man,
I
can't.
talked my ex-wife into making cabbage burgers one time. I said, "Hey, why don't you make them?" I said, "I know you can do it," and because her sisters have done it, and they lived up in Rapid City,
Mhm.
and I said, "You can do it," because she turned out to be a really good cook. When we first started dating, she couldn't cook worth a shit, but then she started watching Food Network and looking at YouTube videos, and she became a hell of a cook. But she made cabbage burgers one time. She made probably 2-3 dozen of them, and they were about 5 inches across, square. They looked almost like a Danish, and then the ends were folded up to a point in the middle. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God, they were good. And I asked her one
That
time, I said, "They're fantastic." I said, "Why don't you ever make them again?" She goes, "You know how much work that was?" I'm like, "Well, they still were good. You could throw them in the freezer and take one for
yep.
lunch."
Or
They were
well,
fantastic.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a
If
lot like Spätzle and chicken schnitzel,
Yeah.
hmm yeah,
especially if you're making it homemade.
yep. It's actually pretty easy if you get the if you just get the sheets of puff pastry. That it there's half your work done because there is a certain kind of uh, bread that you need to make for cabbage burgers, so it doesn't rise too much or it doesn't it's got to be just right. But if you cheat and use puff pastry,
Yeah,
it
it
works
doesn't
fantastic.
it's a little more delicate, but yeah, it works.
It works.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember because my dad will make them every now and then, or he'll get them from someone that makes them every now and then. I can't remember what they use for the breading, but it's puff pastry ish. So I imagine they just go out and get the regular puff pastry and just don't roll it out as much as you would want, and then just
We
throw the
we just
throw the
got a Runza here 6 months ago. They just built one.
Nice.
really.
Prominent.
There's
Yeah.
there's 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 two in my area.
Hey,
Yeah, I know where they're at.
Yep.
I'm in your town all the time.
You know, I hate to point this out, but the name of that burger place, it sounds like something that you would be doing after eating a really bad MRE.
yeah,
Kind of
basically.
runs away.
Well, they used to be like Dutch or Swedish or something like that, and it's a little bit odd at the first time. They have like regular burgers and stuff like that you can get,
Mhm.
but like it's not necessarily a bad deal or whatever. I was out there when I caravanned up there to see my dad, not because of COVID, but because of all the other bullshit in life that gets in the way. It was like 8 years before I've seen anybody in the family. So like I like drove cross country to meet my brother and his kids and everything. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go fuck off and see my dad. And they're like, oh, let's caravan up there. So we caravanned our asses up there, and it worked out really well, to visit everybody. And then I went and visit again for deer hunting. Like, I'm like, hey, Dad, why don't I go up there with you to go deer hunt? Okay. By the way, Jimmy, I'm probably gonna be talking about that deer hunting to the day I'm dead. I'm just gonna say.
Hey, no problem, man. We like our hunting stories, man.
I have in a couple of months I should have that deer head ready, and I'm gonna probably over there somewhere.
Right to the left of the window there, right next to the
Yeah,
flag.
next to the bear thing over here. Fuck, I can't point.
Somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah, somewhere like up there, so that way people can see it, and it's gonna look really nice. But it's just, until I get it, and
Yep.
Yeah, getting that can take a long time, getting a mount done.
yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like I was worried about it because if you shoot something in the head, you're not going to make a proper mount out of it, and so But
Nope.
in my defense, the antlers were still good. We were yanking this thing around by the antlers, and they were solid. So I'm thinking, like, at best, I gave this deer a really bad concussion. You know, well, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
A fatal concussion.
We got Huge Ass in the chat here. I believe that's your
Huge
first time here.
Ass.
So welcome here. Says getting drunk on a Saturday and listening to strangers talk about pastries. It's good times, man. Good times. I've changed the title of the stream 3 times now, but I think it the title fits more perfectly. So
I asked my lady friend if she liked cheesecake and everything, and she said she's not a fan of it. So I don't know. She just lost a cool point.
That's a cool point gone for sure.
Yeah. So
Cheese-
it's
Yeah.
just like, and by the way, that I think that's just gonna. I think you know that phenomenon that Pop talks about, back burner blues.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's exactly kind of what's going on.
Probably. That's
Hey,
about like it, man.
it kind of feels like so it's just like whatever. Here's the thing, Jay, I can have amazing conversations with these total strangers, right? This one girl last night, she was like complaining about how like she got paired with this one hot guy, and this other guy started flirting with her that wasn't the other hot guy. And I'm like, what the hell is your problem? You like the other guy, but he's too hot for me. You're full of shit. Go after him if that's what you want to do. So we just had a nice conversation after that. And I think the girl said something about, low key, I think he's kind of hot. So I know I'm getting somewhere with my conversations. It's just too bad by the time I'm actually able to do anything about it, I'll be too old and, what the fuck am I going to do?
See,
At least
the funny
you
thing,
show up on their radar.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I was just
radar.
about ready to say that.
But, that's what I do. Hey, who was playing? Was somebody in our group playing D&D earlier? Brandon something?
Brandon
I know-
Trueblood, he plays D&D every Saturday. He does a stream.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Is he part of like the whole pop thing?
He is part of the MGTOW.
MGTOW stuff? Okay. Nice.
Yeah. He does a
Okay.
live stream almost every day. He's a over-the-road trucker, and at the start of his day, he starts a stream, and then you can jump in and get on his stream while he's driving across the country and bullshit about anything. We had an epic troll come in here right before I got on Jimmy's. We had this troll come in, and oh my God, it was brutal. I had to get out of there. I was getting heated.
Nice.
But yeah,
I would love to be able
he does
to
it every Saturday at 11:30 Mountain. He does that, and he has one of his buddies from Kansas that he grew up with, and then one of the guys is in the Ukraine, because Brandon spent several years over in the Ukraine, and he has friends over there, and so that guy will get on there and they'll play. I guess they've been playing for years.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Yeah,
Oh, go on. I'm sorry, Jay.
I would consider myself a little bit of a nerd, but I'm not like Dungeons and Dragons kind of nerd.
I have a dice bag that looks like a ball sack. What do you think?
I've never got into it myself.
I'm supposed to have like this mace come in. It's a mace made with like the mace head is a die 20 enlarged, and it's kind of like a goofy little thing you can do for games. And I'm like, let me get it, but the company's in Australia, so like I don't know if I'm going to get it anytime soon. Actually, let me see if these guys are just. I'll get it whenever the fuck I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I'll probably get it in April, May time frame.
Yep. But I will say I'm kind of the video game kind of nerd. So they just remastered Resident Evil 4. So I've been playing that for the past couple of days, and oh my God, fucking fantastic. if you had anticipation and anxiety playing the PlayStation 2 port or the original GameCube port, if you played that game now, imagine your anxiety times about like 10 or 20 because is fucking crazy. My favorite game of all time, thank goodness, finally came to the PlayStation 4 store. It's a PlayStation 1 original that came out during the same time as like Final Fantasy 7. I want to say Final Fantasy 7 era. So it's one of those 4-disc games and whatnot. It's called Legend of the Dragoon. The story is hands down probably one of the best RPGs I've ever played. I love that game to death. I'm so happy that it's back on PlayStation because I had it on my PS3 along with Need for Speed Most Wanted, Earthworm Jim, the Super Nintendo port. It was remastered for PlayStation 3. I had that on there. Well, one day my PlayStation 3 hit shit, so I could not play any of those games anymore. So that was a sad, sad day for the gamer inside me.
Oh,
No,
it's the same for me when my Xbox 360 finally died.
yep, you got the red ring of death, huh?
No, worse.
Oh no!
The tray finally jammed in such a way where it could not be forced open.
Oh no! So whatever game was in there was the game you played, huh?
Yep. So
Let me
that
guess. It was Halo 2.
actually no, Mass Effect.
See, and I haven't played anything. I haven't played Mass Effect, so I couldn't say if that was a good or bad decision for that Xbox to say, "Fuck
Let,
you, I'm playing this game."
let me just put it this way, Jimmy. If you like video game RPGs that last forever, have pretty near infinite replayability, and can communicate with the next game after it in the series and the game before it in the series, you would love the Mass Effect trilogy.
Right? Yeah,
All,
I've heard I've heard Mass Effect is like 100+ hours
well,
for each.
if you're doing all 3 games, I'm pretty sure it's close to 200 hours if you're going for a completionist.
Right. Right.
I've got a PlayStation 2 with about 30 games that I haven't touched in over a dozen years.
Better dust that thing off. Make sure that it still plays because a PS2 in working condition that does play games is actually worth more now than it was when you bought it.
Oh, it worked fine when I put it away. It's been a lot of years since I've even, hell, it's in a box here somewhere.
I would say plug that thing in and fire it up, and if it still fucking plays the games, that thing is worth, if not more than what it was when you bought it. Trust me. Yeah.
You want to buy a PlayStation 2, Jimmy?
Oh man, that's don't do that to me, man, because there is no better feeling than you hitting that power button and you hear the startup screen.
You know,
Yeah,
it's so nostalgic.
I have like
Jimmy,
an old style one. You know, that was like a big stress reliever when I was in the service. You know, playing a lot of like. I had dumb aspirations for a while to play all the Final Fantasy games when I realized there's no continuity in the storyline whatsoever.
No, only 10 and 10-2 are the only ones that are sequels.
And the thing is, you just got to enjoy it.
Yep. What were you going to say there, Mando?
Sorry.
I was going to point out that with older game systems like that, just because the originator has it working properly doesn't mean that when you get it home, it's gonna work. I was a huge fan of the Nintendo Wii, and after I got ghosted by a chick that I was dating on Fort Campbell, I sold the Wii that I bought when she and I were together. I found another one, and the one game from that system that I wanted to actually beat, got it home, turned it on, stuck the disc in, and the disc automatically ejected with enough force that I had to pry it out of the wall.
Dang,
Holy
had auto
shit.
eject.
Yeah, and it would not load anything, and it gave me the Nintendo equivalent of the blue screen of death.
I said, did your ex do some kind of like voodoo hex on you so that whenever you would buy the next Nintendo Wii, the disc would
Well,
eject with
okay,
such force to attempt to kill you?
I do suspect that she did try to put a curse on me. I don't think that's it though.
I had a crazy like acquaintance or whatever, call her like I never done anything with her, believe it or not, but she believed that she was a witch and that she got powers, and when she would get mad at people, she would send out dick shrinking spells and shit like that, or the equivalent, and it's just like huge tits, but like and smart and everything, but like just kind of fucking crazy, I stick my fingers in the socket to power up to feel like I need a. You're crazy.
Psycho.
Yeah, that would have been one to stay away from.
Yeah.
But I mean, luckily I had enough sense to not really do anything. I mean, it was nice to just kind of have that companion or whatever. But it was just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I get all the fucking crazy shit.
Yep. Got a Broken Pine 284. He says, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon was my go-to when stuck in a hotel room or work camp back in the day.
Nice.
Oh, when I was deployed to Iraq, for me it was Oblivion that was my go-to.
For a little while. I'm sorry.
I played a little bit of Oblivion, but sorry, but Skyrim.
This was before Skyrim.
This was way before Skyrim, but Jesus Christ. That reminds me, I still need to, I don't want to, but I need to upgrade to the anniversary pack that came out like last year. That gives you like 6 new houses to build and buy and all kinds of different quests and whatnot. Me and my buddy from Colorado Springs, we like to share our Skyrim and Fallout memes with each other. So that was one of them. But Wildlands from Tom Clancy, that also was a pretty fun tactical squad shooter. That one was pretty fun. Me and because it was you and 3 other friends could jump on a squad and just go around, fly around, do missions and whatnot. That one was fun. We would fly out to the salt flats and see who could get the longest shot. And me and another buddy of mine tied for a 1 kilometer shot. The only reason why I won is because my shot was a headshot.
The game for me was Borderlands for a little while, and
Borderlands was fun.
And I even played a lot of Fable.
Fable was a good one too.
The first one was good until they kind of fucked up and kept making them, and they just kind of like each time they made them, it's not like the game was not fun, but all the mechanics changed, and then everything was kind of like convoluted, and I'm like, they could have at least made the controls the same, but they changed the controls out every time, and then I even have like the Xbox Elite with the I don't even know if I still have that fucking game, the Kinect game that you can like dance around and throw fucking fireballs in the game. But I got that thinking I would use it, never open the damn thing. You know,
And
because
that's
they pissed the game kind of disappointed me.
I
right.
hate it when that happens.
Yeah,
The second one
that's.
had a brothel you could be in charge of.
I remember
like,
that.
You if you chose to, you could just not free the whores and work them for a while and earn money off them, and then free them later on if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, did anyone here play Dishonored?
No.
Dishonored. I believe I did.
It's a
been a
game where
while.
you could be were an assassin that if you wanted to, you could go through the entire game and not kill any of the primary targets.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Okay.
leave them in horribly compromising positions.
Yep. I remember. Yep. Yep. I remember. I know that. I remember that series now.
I always had so much fun leaving that one guy who was in the fetish club in the most compromised position possible.
Well, you are a sick bastard there, Mando. So that would not surprise me.
The
Well,
yeah.
guys, I'm gonna dip out here. I'm gonna get stuff squared away. I got to get up at 5 a.m. go to work. So
Oh shit. Alrighty, Abe. Well,
pleasure talking to you, and I will catch
Oh, yeah.
up with you someday.
All right.
yeah.
It was nice speaking to you for the first time.
Yeah, nice talking to you guys.
Nice
Yep.
talking.
Feel free. Shoot me a message on. Shoot me a comment or somewhere, or we can get you in the gilded chat here and whatnot. If Rhino doesn't object to that, he's no longer in the chat with us. But if you
No, I
want to,
think
if you want to join in on that, feel free to let me know. I will talk to Rhino so we can get you in there, man.
Yeah, we'll go drink a couple of beers and throw down some wings.
Sounds good, man.
All right,
Sounds
we'll
good.
talk to you later.
All right. Have yourself a good one, my good sir.
well, it's like Saturday evening, and this is when the the home lets people stay up a lot later, and he might get this is like prime time for him, probably. And I just wouldn't want to destroy what he's trying to.
Right.
No, it's
yeah.
I am the fuck. I used to have to get up. I remember I had to go to bed around like 8 or 9. Maybe 10 if I was pushing it, just so I can get up at 4, so that way I can go to the fucking gym with the fucking, squad people. Like when I was in the military, just so that way they could play fucking volleyball with each other. Just so that way they can get mad at me because I didn't want to fucking play it.
Oh, okay. I had arguments multiple times with lieutenants over going to the gym for PT. Because none of the equipment there was geared towards the type of exercises we actually needed to work on. And people wanted to go there to get all big and buff. None of them had cardio worth a shit.
And I am slowly trying to get back into the cardio, because I learned my lesson from last year of trying to run 6-7 miles at a fucking time, and then potentially throwing out what I thought was my shoulder, which isn't a problem, just weak muscles. That's another issue. And so I'm doing a combination of maybe running for a mile, maybe 15-20 minutes, and then then I might hop on the cross trainer, the elliptical, for a little while, try to get that 20-30 minutes in, and then go lift or whatever. It's not like a great lifting routine or anything like that. It's just something that eventually maybe I'll lose the belly eventually if I keep up with it, but just enough running to kind of, okay, my leg's starting to hurt. Let's not try to hurt the shin splints even further,
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but the last couple of years I have not been able to run anywhere near as much as I need to.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people where when I do work out, I'll tone just fine. I won't bulk.
Bacon Bacon with our reminder. Damn it, cardio is literally the first rule of Zombieland.
Well, I mean, if you got a gun, you won't have to run that fast.
Right.
Well,
Yeah. For me, the last time that I was on a treadmill or did any kind of cardio was when I was in. Pardon me. Was that when I was in Wyotech in Laramie? Myself and my roommate and a couple of his buddies were like, "Oh, we're gonna go up to the gym and whatnot," because there was a designated gym for the Wyotechers only and whatnot. So they're over there fucking doing the whole fucking knee hook, knee smash this fucking curl and all this other shit. And it's like, you guys are only fucking like lifting like the maximum you're gonna lift like 3 times. That's all you're doing. I cannot even imagine lifting that. So I'm going to go on the treadmill, put my headphones in. I'm going to go for a nice little jog. So there I am jogging probably, I think it was probably like close to 2 miles. And I fucking smoke. And it's not as bad as back in the day as I do now. But I handled that like 2 miles. No problem. It was just a nice brisk jog. I wasn't sprinting or anything like that. So, then there's these guys over here at the fucking bench press and the curls and the deadlift. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking get my PB. It's like you did 1 or 2 presses. It's not gonna do anything. You cut the weight down by like 2.5 plates, and you sit there and you do 4 or 5 reps. You might be doing something, but you're not doing anything just by sitting there going Hulk smash, yeah.
After the cartoons that I've seen, Hulk smash has a different connotation.
Oh, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
There's some special green goo at the end of those kind of Hulk smashes.
Well,
allegedly,
not quite that color, but you're on the right track.
Right.
It's just I can't. After you see shit like that, you can't think of it any other way. But
you can't unsee it, man.
You can't unsee shit like that. Here's a Navy story for you. I like not even 3 months on the ship, right? And this guy, he decides to get belligerently drunk, like really bad. And so what they end up doing is, because he was, so fucked up, they put him basically on the quarterdeck, from what I understand, and they clamshelled him in between 2 metal stretchers. Basically, they zip tied his ass into 2 stretchers to make sure he won't like fuck off and wander off and die, And I think the captain came up to him and made sure he's okay. He said he told the captain to basically blow him, and then he wanted a Snickers bar shoved up his butt. So I think he was referred to as Snickers after that for a while, So there you go. And so I on the ship it's a different beast, because it's like in the almost 3 years I was in Spain, I've done more work in 3 months on the ship than I did in Spain. In 3 years, there's not a lot of necessarily work. It's a lot of busy work, and all that. And I just got
scrubbing and polishing.
Yeah. A lot of that bullshit. And then it's just like a lot of do more with less, and then you're a piece of shit if you can't do it right. And why is your uniform dirty when you literally just took a bag of trash somewhere? Just stupid shit like that. And it's just it was one of those jobs where they gave me so much to do that I did the absolute minimum. I try to do a good job. It wasn't like I was purposely trying to do a bad job, but it's just you give me too much to do, and you expect me to never sleep or do anything else, And so I just kind of maybe that's why I was a piece of shit.
That sounds a lot like some of the mini rebellions I had while I was on active duty.
Oh, basically the last month I was on the ship. Oh, I did nothing. I kept the storeroom clean and everything, but I was fucking off on my PSP, in the down storeroom. No one's fucking see you down there, So I'm just down there fucking off playing PSP. I can sit next to a fucking wall charger, plug in.
There you go.
And And then we were in Russia for a couple of times, right? I'm really sad what's happening going on over there. I won't get into detail, but all that bullshit in that part of the world. The Russians were really nice people to us. We were there during their V-Day, our equivalent of like D-Day, but they call it V-Day.
Mhm.
And so the Russian people were really nice and kind and everything, and all that. It was just kind of sad. And we were there for like parties and shit, so they would buy alcohol over there. So they would bring alcohol to the parties for the. Not all the alcohol ever made it to those parties. I tell you that.
Yeah.
And I tell you that vodka tasted like gasoline. I'm like, shit, I had this vodka for a while. I got to get rid of it. So I started swigging at it, just taking swigs until it was gone. Nothing much. Just apparently I was a Lightfoot because there was a whole other fucking bar on the ship. That was in the ship's laundry, where people would go there to get kind of fucked up, But those are the people that knew how to drink and keep their shit together, And then one time, a guy got caught with a bag of weed on the ship. A bag of weed makes everything okay. Well, no. So I'll tell you what a bag of weed does to a bunch of people on the ship. What it does is it makes all the higher ups get to see every single penis on the ship. Every single penis. Drop your drawers right in front of them, piss into the cup, right? So the lesson learned is that it's not like when you're ready to be an E7 or a chief, it's not like how much shit you're willing to deal with. It's how much penis are you comfortable looking at.
Me gazer.
Okay, Edmund, I'm going to ask you a question,
Yeah.
and this is with all due respect.
Yeah.
Is it true what they say about the submarine service?
What do you mean?
100
Wait,
men go down.
300 people go down, 150 couples come up?
Yeah.
Probably not. Realistically, does that actually happen? Maybe to an extent it does. I don't know. I was never in the submarine service side of things, so I can't speak on that. And that in and of itself, I've only talked to guys that were there. You're so on task of doing everything. You're probably the last thing you're thinking about is your dick, because you're so stressed on doing everything, and like you're doing something. Apparently, from what they say, one, you're going to be smart because you're working on qualifications and getting your submariner pin. It's qualification that you can get while you're in, basically to make the higher ups, jerk themselves off, like saying, "Look how great our fucking people are getting this pin." I eventually got mine, and everybody leaves you alone a little bit. They give you a little bit more respect if you can get those qualifications, which I would encourage anybody to get while they're in, but they don't mean shit beyond leadership. But sorry, I will rambling.
No, that's
I
all
was
right.
literally just trying to make a joke there.
Well, I know the submarine thing. Yeah, like 300 people go down and 150 couples come up. Yeah, and we just got like bar soap because the powdered soap took too long to pick up, right?
That one I hadn't heard.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's another time. I'm cleaning. You have to clean everything on the ship. You're your own janitor. Everything on the ship. So like I'm there cleaning the shower. You get tasked doing cleaning. I'm cleaning the shower mats. Found someone's kids underneath the mat. See the joys of being in the service.
Fortunately, in the Army, you don't quite have that kind of issue going on. At least most of the places I was.
You were in the Army then, right?
Yep, technically still am.
Oh, nice. My dad was in...
Until they get my retirement packet sorted, I am still belonging to the Army Reserve, which means every day I'm looking at the international news going, please don't get worse. Please don't get worse.
Well, like, it would have to get bad by the time they would want me. I'm coded as RE4. So, like, they're not going to have me come in anyway. And even if they did, I would not tell you what I would do. You wouldn't hear from me.
Yeah, I don't want to know, because I might have to say something.
No, I would, what? Where's he at? I don't.
Fuck if I know, man.
Fuck, I don't know what the fuck happened. Where did the fuck? No, but the thing is, it's like the likelihood of them like getting down to people like me in my category to go back in is probably not likely when the shit hits the fan. At this point, you know.
Honestly, I'm still more of the opinion that when stuff gets to that point, we're going to see multi-story mushrooms before people like you and me get called back fully.
We're going to be too busy trying to keep our shit together that they're not going to be concerned about trying to contact people like us. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I can't speak for the two gentlemen on the panel that are of military experience, but in my opinion, if we start seeing multiple mushroom clouds,
mushrooms
good.
are tasty. I don't know what you're talking
Good.
about. Mushrooms are delicious.
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking. Me and
I know
Jimmy
what
are
you're
both
talking
talking about multi-story mushrooms over
Well,
major
I know what you're
metropolitan
talking
areas.
about. I know what you're talking about, but I think mushrooms are delicious.
They are. They are very delicious, and if you find the right kind, you will have a very good time.
Okay, Jimmy, would you like me
Just
to read
saying.
this? Would you like me to read this article that I told you about earlier?
Oh,
Because you literally just gave a perfect segue for it.
let's hear it.
Tell you what, let me go take a pee break because
Piss break.
I'm working on my 7th beer of the night.
And your squirrel bladder needs to be emptied.
The squirrel bladder needs to be emptied. So for those in the chat,
If that's a 12 ounces of beer, and you had like 16
now.
Okay, so you had a fucking pint of beer, and
I've had
that's 112 ounces of fucking liquid. Go take a piss.
I've had 6 12 ounces of beer. And
Are you sure it wasn't 7?
I've got 2 more in my cooler right off
Nice.
just off camera here. But
Okay.
but for those still in the chat, our numbers have dropped significantly. I have seen that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
We're just shooting the shit. That's all.
Yeah, like I've mentioned before. I've changed the title of this stream 3 times so far. So now we're just bullshitting with the boys. But I will be going and emptying my squirrel bladder.
Okay.
So in that time, refill your drinks if you are still a part of the chat. If you still want to hang around, please do so. If you want to come on the stream and talk for a little bit, I will share the link for the StreamYard on that. And on that note, it is pee break time.
Papa John's Pizza! Papa John's Pizza!
Figured I'd just keep the Mr. Bean going. Again, big thank you to Billy Von Baum for the P break and the intro for this stream.
Didn't Calliope
Please,
have a lot to do with the PP break as well?
I think she did. She may or may not have a hand in that, but a big shout out to both of those folks, great folks. BillyVonBaum.com. Subscribe to him, Billy Von Baum on YouTube.
Yep.
Please do subscribe to him. For those here live, I'm sure you guys already are, but to those in the future that may or may not stumble upon this stream, please subscribe to BillyVonBaum.com. Anyways, what were we going to talk about before I had to go empty my squirrel bladder there, gentlemen?
The
You
article?
talked about, you were talking about some kind of a mushroom dish, and I was like, oh, you want to go ahead and hit up that article I told you about earlier that's kind of humorous.
Oh, yes, please do.
Okay.
Let us discuss the three-story mushrooms.
Okay. This comes from something called the SCP Wiki. And SCP is a fictional organization that contains anomalous artifacts, creatures, and individuals. I'm only giving you some context before we dive into this, because some of this will need to be known, unfortunately.
Oh, goody.
There are 3 basic levels of containment. Safe, which means this is something that you can just stick in a box and leave there and be able to assume it's not going to kill anyone. Euclid, you need to lock this thing up behind some kind of containment cell, usually nothing more than a normal prison or maximum security prison cell, and it probably won't kill anyone. And then there's Keter. These things have containment procedures that are so extreme, excessive, and weird that there's no guarantee that they won't kill anyone just trying to contain them.
So it's like the Ark of the Covenant, when you would open it up, your entire face melts off.
Alright, the Ark of the Covenant itself would be safe class, because until you open it, it's no danger. Once you open it, then yeah, you're screwed.
I always like a good SCP.
Okay, so you're familiar with SCP.
Yeah, I watch them all the time, and
Okay, good.
the different ones, so I kind of get the concept. I won't be able to
Okay.
repeat a bunch of them off my head, but yeah, I get it.
Okay. I'm going to read you one of my favorite joke SCPs. This is SCP-666 and 1/2-J by Pepper's Ghost. Object class. Sweet Mother of Mercy. Is it ever Keter? Special containment procedures. A minimum of 7 on-site staff members of Abrahamic faith must be present in SCP-666 and 1/2-J's containment chamber at all times. SCP-666 and 1/2-J must not come into contact with any living organism without the written permission of a Level 4 staff member. Weaponization and use of SCP-666 and 1/2-J in containment or neutralization of other Keter-class SCP items is under review by the O5 Council. Description: SCP-666 and 1/2-J is a crab-stuffed mushroom entree produced by the Internal Foundation Catering Service Containment Cuisine for the 45th Annual Site 19 Foundation Formal. Roughly 42% of the 1,500 attendees consumed SCP-666 and 1/2-J and were subsequently affected by its anomalous properties. 666 and 1/2-J's effects started to become apparent approximately 1 hour after conclusion of the main course, at which time event-goers began to complain of slight abdominal pain. By the second hour, many attendees were complaining of significant digestive distress, and all restrooms in the immediate vicinity were filled to capacity with extended queues. By the third hour, medical, investigative, and plumbing personnel were being flown in from surrounding sites to aid in relief efforts. Those who have contained SCP-666 and 1/2J say that it has an odd, salty tinge to it, likely caused by an experimental salt substitute used in its creation. It has been theorized that this substance is the root cause of SCP-666 and 1/2J's anomalous properties, although food poisoning as a result of poor hygiene among culinary personnel has also been considered. All staff members affiliated with Containment Cuisine have been put into custody for interrogation purposes, as well as their own individual well-being. When consumed by a human subject, SCP-666 and 1/2J triggers 5 stages of localized K-class scenarios within the subject's digestive system. In its initial stage, SCP-666 and 1/2J causes a brief period of mild nausea, followed by a sudden and urgent need to relieve oneself. However, the instant before the crucial moment of blessed release, SCP-666 and 1/2J triggers a DK-class dominance shift, seizing control over the subject's nether regions, and causing a massive shutdown of all the subject's bodily exits. The deep carnal desire for release increases to the point that it becomes downright crippling. Subjects often experience shortness of breath, extreme jaw pain from the clenching of teeth, and mild bruising on hands from putting the rim of the toilet bowl in a death grip. After 15 to 20 minutes of the subject's intestines experiencing a level of containment rivaling that of a SCP-106 and involving substantially more screaming, the subject will experience a brief RK-class rapture scenario, feeling a relaxation of the lower muscles, and a wave of elation and a fleeting hope that the worst has passed. SCP-106 is known as the Old Man. He's a sadist with corrosive skin that sucks people into a pocket dimension to torment them for an indeterminate period of time. Following this, the gates of hell open up within the subject's intestines as Satan himself violates the subject's rear canal with a pickaxe. A sudden SK-class scorched earth scenario completely raises the interior lining of the affected's digestive tract as unholy murder flame rages throughout in a demonic vortex at a temperature of roughly, holy crap on a cupcake, degrees Kelvin. Every happy memory, every recollection of peace, joy, or anything other than sheer teeth-shattering agony is volcanically obliterated in a gastrointestinal supernova of biblical proportions. Subjects may experience blackouts or periods of lost time during this phase, their state of being reduced to a tear-blurred haze of torrential sweat, agonized wails, and desperate gasps for air. This continues for the next 2 to 3 hours. It is common for subjects to briefly hallucinate during this stage, creating comforting mental scenarios in which they are violently removed from the census by various Keter-class SCP entities. Any last vestiges of hope are crushed into tiny nubbins as subjects undergo a CK-class total containment failure, finally expelling the contents of their nether regions in a magnificent riptide that can be best compared to a single large leak in the Hoover Dam. An unfathomably vast expanse of liquid ejected at a rate fast enough to be upsetting, but not fast enough to be merciful. Subjects have described the experience as the digestive equivalent of one's life flashing before their eyes, with every meal eaten during an individual's lifetime excruciatingly excised in reverse chronological order. The downright baffling amounts of waste produced by the afflicted has led researchers to conclude that the intestinal tracts are imbued with extra-dimensional or ectoentropic properties during this time. Injected waste does not resemble good, wholesome waste matter in the slightest. Rather, it is a roast awful terror sludge that is probably corrosive and most definitely radioactive. The expulsion stage is usually fairly brief, but an anomalous temporal field created by the effects cause the subjects to receive the experience as lasting roughly 6 lifetimes. As the subject's ability to endure the emotional and physical trauma of the end of days inferno raging within them inevitably fails, it will enter its final stage, a UK-class universal collapse scenario, in which the subject experiences one final crescendo of Ragnarok, followed by a blessed merciful state of unconsciousness. Subjects will awaken 1 to 2 hours later with full memory of their experience. However, a number of affected individuals have reported finding themselves moved from one location to another during the time period between passing out and regaining consciousness. One researcher testified to having found himself in a nearby field, clean and fully dressed, laying atop a pile of 1986 Time magazines, with no memory of how he arrived there. Subjects who undergo the effects often bear psychological trauma from the event, as well as residual intestinal discomfort for the following fortnight. Investigations are ongoing. Groups of interests are being considered. Some quotes from individuals that experienced this. Having experienced both childbirth and the effects of SCP-666 and 1/2J, I can safely say that I would choose the former any day of the week. SCP-666 and 1/2J is like having 3 babies at once, except they're all on fire. Also, they're covered in thumbtacks and trying to eat you from the inside out, all while the midwife is beating you senseless with a crowbar and screaming in your ear to push. Dr. writes. I ordered the beef entree, and therefore cannot give any first-hand account of SCP-666 and 1/2J's effects. However, I can say with certainty I have seen Keter-class containment breaches cause less pandemonium and widespread demoralization. It was, without a doubt, the second darkest night Site-19 has ever seen. Dr. Gears. This is my 3rd body since the incident, and I still don't feel like it's worked its way out of my system yet. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go try for a 4th. Dr. Bright. With every passing week, I lose a little more hope of ever standing straight again. I have stared death in the face, and he is garnished with parsley. Dr. Kondraki. On 4/26/2007, a small quantity of SCP-666 and 1/2J was fed to a then, as of yet harmless, Euclid-class SCP object by researchers. The object has since shown extreme hostility towards anything resembling human life. Additionally, a mysterious substance of unknown origin manifesting on the floor of the SCP's containment chamber has created the need for a routine cleaning. Cross-exposure with SCP-666 and 1/2J in any situation other than attempted neutralization has since been prohibited. Addendum. Despite objections by the Ethics Committee, a meal of SCP-666 and 1/2J was fed to SCP-682, the hard-to-destroy reptile. At the apex of SCP-666 and 1/2J's wrath, SCP-682 threw its hands in the air and screamed, Yog-Shoggoth, take me now, and willingly left this mortal coil. Neutralization was deemed successful. To this day, the darkest night, of course, being the ill-fated breakfast with Dolly Parton fiasco, which few speak of even to this day. I'm not sure if you're afraid or waiting for more.
I was gonna. I had myself had me muted there because holy shit, that was quite the explanation there, and I think I'm definitely going to clip that and make that a video. Meg Talmando explains 666J and 1/2. That is going to be a video. Jesus Christ.
Bear in mind,
shit,
I said that's
man.
one of my favorite SCPs. I didn't say it was the best one.
Just sounds like they were just talking about pooping a lot.
Well,
that's what.
It's a pity in that case they weren't far from pooping.
Far from pooping.
And I see Jimmy is still trying to hold himself together.
Pooping.
I'm sorry, the Robin Hood Men in Tights horse that Boomhilda has. Farfet Cougar. His cousin is the other horse, far from pooping. Yeah, apologies for that stupid joke because I have a simple mind and my mind is very simple.
Did,
So,
did I give you mental overload reading you that little article?
eh, just a little bit, just a little bit. So, I think on that note, I think we're gonna call it a night.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
You're just bullshitting.
yeah. Well, I did start off the stream saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna play some Cards Against Humanity," and the next thing you know, it's just me and Mando in the game, and I kept saying, "Hey, click the links to join the stream yards, and click to join the game," and no one would join. So it's like, fuck it. So we'll change the title. Next thing you know, fuck it. We'll change the title one more time. So it's a little more perfect.
You know, when you're streaming and you have at least one person still talking to you, you're having a good stream. You know.
Oh
And-
yeah, we can have, StreamYards open and all this other good stuff, but apparently it was a slow Saturday night, which was to be expected. Yeah,
It happens from time to time.
it happens, man. It happens, but you know what? It happens, bad. But
I still say your face would look perfect on Daniel Jackson's body from Stargate. Especially if they can clip the scene where he gets dragged by that giant hairy camel thing.
Oh, you gotta be.
Are you looking it up?
Oh.
Are you looking it up, Jimmy?
Yeah, that would work.
Oh.
Okay. See if you
Son
can
of
find
a bitch.
See if you can find a picture of him from Stargate the movie.
Son of a
Because-
bitch, man.
Because if your hair was a little bit longer, there would be hardly anything that Billy Van Baum would need to do.
Oh, god damn it. Daniel Jackson. Stargate movie. Images. Oh my fucking god!
Share it.
I need to grow my hair out. I need to grow my hair out. And Mando, you are an asshole for giving Billy Von Baum this idea. But then again, I am one that embraces the trolling. So
What's the deal? Come on now.
that's the deal.
That would work. Yeah. Get yourself a bowl cut there, buddy.
There would hardly need, and Billy would hardly need to do anything with that one.
I would say I would have to shave off my my shaggy fuzz here. So I would
you could leave it on there. They would totally work.
Well, the guy's an out of work Egyptologist at this point in the movie, so it would work.
You know, Egyptologists were like the first pyramid scheme out there.
Oh, good God, that's worse than some of mine, Edmund. Good God. Oh my goodness.
You're getting a slow backhand clap for that joke because it's a good joke, but Jesus fucking Christ, it was a bad fucking joke. Anyways, I'm gonna stop sharing that.
Okay.
God damn it. Broken Pine over here, he's fucking busting the gut.
So,
Oh, son of a bitch, man. Oh man. But anyways, I think we're gonna call it that for the night. Um, I don't feel like going on for another 2 hours like I
Yeah,
normally do.
there's no
It's
point.
there really is no point. I mean, I think we didn't play Cards Against Humanity, which what this stream was originally called, but I think I replaced it with a more appropriate title and whatnot. So, but anyways, thank you again to MGTOW Mando. You, technically, you really are the official, unofficial co-host of Waffle World here. So, I mean,
Yeah,
if it's not you, it's Edmund. So,
Well, I just like if I'm not busy driving, I felt like a little burnt out over the last couple of weeks of driving. You know, kind of like the
right.
same old, same out with the same people, same sort of thing, same sort of conversations, and just just I don't want to fucking drive. I just want to get drunk and see colors.
the the really sad thing is, you and Rhino are the closest thing to a social life I currently have.
Well, the thing, my
This is
social life. I was telling Jimmy about this. I have to be careful because I am on YouTube still, but I did go on a date a couple weeks ago, and just between me, you, and everybody else that ever happens to be listening to this, I don't think that it's going to work out. Let's just say, and it would be really like, let's just say there's nice enough person. I'm still gonna we talk a little bit every single day, but it's more like I feel like I'm carrying the conversation a little bit, and it's just like I'm getting
right.
sort of like if you just met somebody, that's one thing, but like if you're trying to do something and then you're getting basically leftovers, whatever, you know.
Hey, Edmund, just remember what I mentioned earlier. At least you're showing up on their radar.
A little bit. One day someone's good. Hey, back on say what was it? Valentine's Day. I had a middle-aged woman give me. They text me like a lost found item. Hey, didn't lose an item, but so and so's number is this, and I just text back to be nice. And of course, she tried to get me to go over there and like, hey, when you get off, if you know anything about like drivers and stuff, I'm not. I can get off whenever the hell I want, But if I'm motivated by money, particularly that night, or trying to zone in and try to get a quest or something, I'm going to do that because these rich college kids and their parents, they're going to buy me my house. They just don't know it yet. you
Right.
know,
Redistribution of wealth.
there you go.
There you fucking go.
Sorry, Jimmy. I know you want to go. I don't mean to be rambling.
No, hope you guys are all right. But again, BillyVonBaum.com, Billy Von Baum on YouTube. He is the one that has so very much blessed me with the intro video and the pee break, if I can appreciate that one. I do appreciate a good troll. I can laugh at myself and whatnot. But Billy, if you do see this, and I will be sending you a message in Gilded. What's the guy's name? Daniel Jackson
That's the
from
character
Star.
name. I don't remember the actor's name off the top of my head.
Alrighty, well, I will be tagging you, Billy Von Baum, in a message on Gilded to please do put my face on this beautiful bastard and make fun of me. Please do, because self-deprecating humor is my
Oh, there.
heroine. It
It,
is.
it
It's
in the
great.
series SG-1, there's several scenes where Daniel Jackson and a character played by Amanda Tapping, Samantha Carter, are
It's,
literally back and forthing on
I
just
hang on.
absolutely insane stuff.
I just had an epiphany. Let me bring that guy's face back up here. Is he the same dude? Let me bring it up. just so that everybody can can think of what I'm seeing here. Is he the same guy from that one Friday? Or was it Friday? Not Friday the 13th, or is it Nightmare on Elm Street? I can't remember what 80s horror movie it was. But he's the guy that's sitting. That's the camera pans to him, and he's like, "Oh my god,
I have no idea.
it looks like him.
It's
He
possible.
it
I
looks
you'd have
so
to
much like him."
look up the actor's name and take a look at his filmography. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
God, I swear that is the same dude. I swear that is the same dude. I want to say it is,
Oh,
but then again,
and with all those still images, you're giving Billy even more ammunition.
oh god. Well, hey, at least in this one, it looks smart, sophisticated,
And
giving you
annoyed.
the blink, giving you the blink of like, did you really just say that shit, motherfucker? But again, I will say this: I am one that does embrace the trolls, embraces the jokes, So, Billy, if you do happen to see this stream, please do. Daniel Jackson from Stargate. Please put my face on him so he can be the outro video, because you did make the intro video for the Waffle Zone, even though this is technically called Waffle World because it kind of rolls off the tongue just a little bit better. Just a little bit better.
Oh,
But,
something else that you could do?
oh, what's that?
You remember there's a certain car care company called AutoZone? Get in the zone. Waffle
Get in the
Zone.
zone! The Waffle Zone!
You could easily add that at the end of the
Billy!
you,
Billy!
you could easily add that at the end of the pee break.
Get in the zone! The Waffle Zone! Oh, but then again, so Billy Von Baum, if you happen to watch this or catch this in the end, I know you probably won't, but I will be sure to let you know in our Gilded chat. And if you don't, Mando, make sure that does happen as well. Because
Oh, I already sent him a
it's
private message about it a couple of weeks ago.
oh, that is comedy gold. But then again, Billy is a very busy man,
Oh
and
yeah.
again, major shout out to Billy for cropping out the sections from my live streams to tell me to, hey, here's the posts, here's the thumbnails, make these videos, post them on your channel, get the fuck on it. I did, and again,
Didn't he basically tell you to quit being a fucktard about it?
pretty much, yeah, pretty much. But I do have a basic video editor software on my laptop. I can take snippets of my live streams and whatnot, and I do have a couple ideas of two of them that I will be taking from snippets of this one to make a video out of. But on that note, MGTOW Mando, Edmund, I very much appreciate. Oh yeah.
It's nice to be.
Pardon me. I very much appreciate you guys coming on the chat panel again. Those in the chat, the goddamn bacon. We have Ghost Pill in the chat. We have Slick South 57, and again Broken Pine at 284 incoming Von Bomb. So Billy, please do put my face on that character's face and do that voodoo that you do so well.
Nice use of blazing saddles.
Oh, well, that wasn't even on purpose, to be honest with you. So, but anyways, I am going to call it a night. Gentlemen,
Yep.
are there any other closing words you would like to have for those in the future that will see this or those in the chat tonight? Mando, we'll go with you first.
Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eyes open, and whatever you do, stay away from crab stuffed shrimp.
Try that again.
Crab stuff
Uh,
shrimp.
Stay safe. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel, and whatever you do, stay away from crab stuffed mushrooms.
There you go. And Edmund,
Oh,
any closing words for you from you, good sir?
yeah. Don't be silly. Wrap your willy. Don't loan anybody any money, and don't co-sign for shit.
Very wise words. And my closing words for the night. If you are going to be silly and forget to wrap your willy, don't be a dummy. Come on her tummy. Shoot to kill, because we'll take a slice out of Pop's pie. If you need to defend yourself with a weapon, shoot to kill, or because one story is better than two. Learn to laugh. Learn to say fuck it. Learn to ignore. And do not put your dick in a whore.
Tried to make that one rhyme, did you?
I tried, and I failed.
No, you
Sorry, I had a brain fart halfway through.
No, it's all right.
I'd give that attempt a 3.
I would take 3. Hey man, I make a good lasagna though. So does that make me a 5? Okay. All right. I will see everybody else in the chat, those that join the main streams on Monday, where we will be covering memes. I will have a good plethora of memes saved for the weekend. Hopefully, I can find something better than the, as Red Pill Rhino would say, the cack-and-mouth snake over the weekend. But anyways, stay safe. Have yourself a good weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And have yourself a good one.